everybody, and welcome to another episode of Songs from the Attic. Today we're going to do the impossible task of counting down the top 10 songs by Madness. And I'm laughing because it seems to be it's an impossible task. When I think of singles bands, great bands who've got incredible singles and incredible album tracks, Madness are right up there with ABBA, Bee Gees, Slade, any of those great acts, any of those bands that I feel that children, as soon as they're born, should be given all of these greatest hits by on their birth and be injected to be part of their DNA, and Madness are one of them. Kirk, what are your thoughts with regards to Madness as a sort of the singles, albums, whatever track band?
Well, being one of my favourite bands, when you've just talked about that, can imagine somebody just presenting them with complete Madness, and just have a listen to that, and that gives you an album's worth of just everything at its best. But then you can go and explore the albums with it, of course, but it's just such a good, it's non-stop. It is perfect. The whole album is brilliant. When that album actually came out, House of Fun went to #1. I don't think House of Fun was on an album.
No, it was a single, yeah.
Yeah, that was their first #1. So yeah, so it was a great.
It was their only #1.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Yeah, they hit the post a couple of times, but it Must Be Love, which almost made it, and they were held off by some poor records, I think, wasn't it? I don't know what they were. I can't remember.
I think our house got a #1 in America, but not in this country, which is just amazing when you think about it.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. So where do you start with Madness? Where do you dip your toe?
Who knows? I mean, I'm looking at songs that haven't made the mix, and for me, and there are 50 songs I could have had in the top 10 that haven't made it. There are just some incredible songs that haven't made it. I'm just looking at my list here. One Better Day, Waiting for the Ghost Train, which I love.
I know. As I said, because we were, teenagers, and it's around the sort of 1979, 1980. And you just start to identify with bands, and One Step Beyond came out, but you also, you had the Selector, the Specials,
Dexys,
Bad
the
Manners.
Beat.
Yeah, just everything. So all that two-tone style and explosion was happening. So it's like you've got to kind of go a bit on the journey to understand Madness, how they've grown up, because there'd be no point in listening to, as you say, Wonderful now, because you kind of got to relate how the band developed, how it kind of musically they went forward, and lyrically. It's just because I think they were searching for an identity, and then they found their own place, and they sit there proudly. I mean, the thing is, they cannot really say it. Are there any bands like Madness? I think people copy little bits of them, but you're not going to get a straightforward reproduction of them.
They're very much an English band along the tradition of the Kinks, Ian Dury, without a shadow of a doubt, obviously.
Yeah,
I would say XTC, which I'm a huge fan of. Paul Weller, later on Damon Albarn. They all fit into that English style of writing, and it's maybe the reason why many of them have not really made it in America.
What do you think of the new Weller and Suggs?
Really like it. Really like it. Yeah, it's a really good, catchy little
when
tune.
I saw it, I thought, I got the Twitter feed through or whatever it is, and I just looked and I thought, oh god, this could be a right disaster. But it sounds really good. I couldn't believe it, how well they've worked together.
Yeah, really good. Really good.
Yeah, it's like they can still do it. Nearly
40 years. Let's get down to it. What have you got in at number 10? Or what have you, is there anything that's really just close by that's missed?
I'm going to go in with a great song, Rise and Fall.
Oh, what a song.
Rise and Fall.
What an album opener.
Yeah. And a lot of bands, obviously they'll have Madness, where you have, One Step Beyond, and generally the name of the best track is going to be the title of the album. But I think Rise and Fall gets so overlooked. What a track. It is absolutely brilliant.
Well, not giving too much away. On my album review, I've got 5-star written next to that song, but that's as much as I'll give.
Oh, well,
fabulous.
Thanks for even listening to it, because it's songs that you're going to be lucky to hear them now, if they play it live. Primrose Hill's in there as well, which is absolutely, Rise and Fall is a super, super, super album.
Well, I'll give you my verdict when we do the review.
Right, so number 10, I'm going to put in Rise and Fall.
Right, well, I've gone with, this is for personal reasons, I think. I've gone with Night Boat to Cairo. And the reason why I chose it is because when my kids were little, I took them to Madness as their first gig, And little was about 3.5, and my eldest was about 5 or 6 at the time. And I remember she got the fez and all the rest of it. We were upstairs in the balcony at the academy. Yeah. And Night Boat to Cairo came on, and I think it was one of these Wii things, Wii dance or whatever. She knew all the moves to Night Boat to Cairo, and as soon as it came on, she started dancing.
Get in.
I was roaring laughing. I just thought it was brilliant. I just thought it was great. Obviously it's a fantastic song. It's just a daft song. Really good. Everyone knows it's the last song of the gig. It's just a laugh. It's a funny tune with great stupid lyrics, and it just works really well from a fantastic album as well, of course. So for me, number 10, Night Boat to Cairo.
Not that one. Great choice, but I wouldn't have put it in at 10.
No, well, if it was songs-wise, there would be other songs that I would put in higher. I mean, for example, I'm just going to give away something now. One Step Beyond doesn't make it for me. One Better Day Said doesn't make it. There's a couple I'm really torn about. Out
One
on
Step
the
Beyond
Town,
doesn't
which
get
I
in.
absolutely love, doesn't make it. In the City, which is just a great pop song, don't make it. House of Fun doesn't make it. There's some really great songs, and they don't get in. I mean, I could go on and on, but I'll try and keep it short. Kurt, what have you got for number 9?
Number 9, I'm going to put in Bed and Breakfast Man.
Oh, okay.
Hey, there you go. A great tale about an ex-member of the band who would obviously turn up, expect his bed and breakfast, John Hasler, and it just sawn us along. But I think a lot of people, Madness fans or not Madness fans, that they all think it is a single, and it was never a single. I think it was possibly going to be a single, but it never quite made it. So, but yeah, Bed and Breakfast Man, when it's played live, everybody knows it, and it's like a single.
Yeah, everybody knows it. It's just the one that everybody sings along to, isn't it? On the chorus.
It's great. It just absolutely. Again, it bounces along, and it's a nice tale, isn't it? And it's got whoa. So yeah, great one.
Right, for me, I'm going to go for number 9. Unusual choice, Dripfed Fred.
Oh yes.
Which I absolutely love. We want Freddie for our leader.
Yeah.
It's just superb. Ian Dury, I'm a huge fan, and he just nails it. And it's like the band were almost like the apprentices, weren't they, and have turned into the master in many respects of that style of music. They've inherited the Ian Dury style of writing, if you like. And in fact, even better, and they're absolutely magnificent. It's such a well put song. And what's even more touching is the fact that he just died not long afterwards either. So he's clearly ill during the song, and there's almost like an ironic twist with regards to the title. I just think it's a lovely song. It's in some respects a lovely tribute, really well put together and catchy as hell, which is the main thing. I remember before the gig on the tour, they were playing it on the videos on the big giant screen, because as we know, they're renowned for not having support acts.
Well, they said if there was a guy on Northumberland Street playing his bagpipes, Madness would have him as the support act, and he would be classed as special guest.
So that was the support. I think it was that and Swords of a Thousand Men blasting it out and stuff, and people just classed that as the support act. But no, I think it's a great song from a, well, not meant to talk about the album at the minute, but a great song. It really catchy, and I just love it. So Kirk, what have you got as number 8?
Well, just to quickly pop one in, 92, the farewell gig, you know, we're never coming back. In fact, we'll play for an extra day because we think we're going to make even more money.
Well, I was the extra day. I went to the extra day.
So you'll be on the live album where we weren't. We're going to always say that because the live album was actually the Sunday recording. Obviously, we're there for when Morrissey was fantastic. Oh, it was great. He absolutely, the National Front disco he sung, and he had these images, you know, the skinhead girls coming down it, and the crowd just weren't warming to him at all. Anyway,
you got kind of
very hostile atmosphere. Ian Jury comes on, and you could hear a pin drop. The respect for him was just the whole crowd. And I've never known it, you know, and you know, you're in the field with 30,000, absolutely. Let's just say there was a lot of alcohol sold that day, and the respect for him was just unreal. And I'll never ever forget it. That's the one thing for Injury. Even though I saw him again later at the Riverside,
I've seen him twice. I was at the Riverside as well. That was a good gig.
It's great. The guy.
I was at that gig, the Sunday gig that you're mentioning, and Morrissey didn't show up because he'd been coined off the day before.
Well, he'd made that much money.
Collecting it in. And the atmosphere was scary, actually. There was a lot of sort of National Front lunatics there, actually, but we'll talk about that in the album show. But I'll tell you what was interesting. Ian Jury came on and he did a whole set with the band. They were unbelievable. It was a really top set. In fact, John Lydon came on and did Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll with them as well.
Get away.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a great gig. Really was a top gig. Anyway, what have we got for number 8?
Number 8, I'm going to put Tomorrow's Just Another Day. So, great song. I think, again, it kind of finds itself hard to fit into the madness. It was when the music, you could see the music was developing and people still wanted the nutty sound. And it was just a nice step, and it's a really good song. Dead well constructed. I don't think it gets enough airplay. And it's just it's a classic in there. When you hear it, you kind of, I think it was a great time for Manus. I really enjoyed the stuff that they came out around that period.
Beautifully put together. It's got that psychedelic strings thing going on as well. It's just great. Absolutely. It's excellent. I think it's a top song. Yeah.
No, we're going to say excellent, brilliant on with every single.
Yeah, because they're all superb. I'm trying to think if I'm getting it mixed up now. Am I getting it mixed up with The Sun and the Rain? I can't remember now, but it is a great song. It is a great song. It's on my list of possibles here. My number 8 is Blue Skin Beast.
Hip hip. Yes.
Superb. Very, very good. Satirical, mocking sort of the Thatcher government. Again, just really great, catchy song with a political statement underneath it. And there were a number of those at the time. I remember Blue as well by the Fine Young Cannibals, which I really loved. And that was also sounded like a really nice song. But when you delved into the lyrics, there was a much deeper meaning with regards to it as well. And this and Walls Come Tumbling Down as well, of course, by Style Council. This does that. This does that in buckets. I think it's a great song, catchy.
You didn't see the Smiths when they did the Red Wedge tour, did you? At the City.
I didn't know. I didn't go there. I had friends who were there, but I didn't go.
Just I heard that the Smiths there was some sort of backlash just before the gig, so they went on and they played I think 3 songs. It might have been A Boy with a Thorn in His Side or something, but they reckon that absolutely they were outstanding. They were fueled, and you can't really imagine that Smith's been in a bit of a bad mood. You know what I mean? The Smiths they can do whatever they want. But yeah, they went on. They're getting some bad press, and they went and they had the City Hall bouncing.
Yeah, I read it was one of the best gigs that they've done. Yeah, in hindsight, which Would have been great to see, mind you.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Okay, Kurt, what's your number 7 then?
Number 7 is One Better Day. Trying to remember one better day. Again, we're hearing it on the last tour. I was so pleased they brought that song in. Again, escaping from the nuttiness and trying to be a bit more serious. It's just a great song, very well constructed, great. The sax in it's absolutely fantastic. Lee Thompson just absolutely nails it. I just think it's a very nice song.
Yeah, it is. It's a superb song. It is an excellent song. Right, let's have a look at mine. I've got number 7, Buggy Trousers. It's all the dads have done the dance. It's just one of them songs that we've all danced to. Fast, really quick. Suggs wrote a really funny story. Everybody knows all the lyrics, and it's as soon as the intro comes on with a little sort of high bit on the drums, and everyone just flies onto the dance floor and does that crazy dance for 2.5 minutes. It's very quick song.
It goes down. So when they play live, that song goes down the best. We've talked about this loads of times, like which song seems to every single person, in the whole arena or wherever you are, everybody, it just goes bananas when they hear that song.
I think it's that and probably It Must Be Love are the two that go down the best live when you see them do it live. But obviously that's for a different purpose.
I'm sure Suggs was saying that there was some homework that they had to do. They all had to go away and write a song about their childhood.
Yeah.
So anyway, Buggy Trousers came back. Is it Suggs wrote in?
Yeah.
And Mike Barson came back with New Delhi.
Yes.
Which just like nothing to do with his childhood whatsoever. It was just like, I'm sure that's the story. It's just like, where did that one come from? You know what I mean?
Although parts of London do have loads of streets named after certain parts of the Commonwealth, as it was at the time. If you go into South London, there are loads of streets with them. There's loads of streets with bizarre names. Yeah, there are.
Must be in Geordie's up here, you know what I mean?
Right, for me, I have got number 6. I've got My Girl, which is a fabulous song. The drum beat's amazing, which David Bowie ripped off. I think openly ripped off for Ashes to Ashes. If you actually listen to Ashes to Ashes, it's exactly the same drum beat. Because apparently Bowie went in and he'd written the lyrics, and he'd written the music for the song, and they said to the band, I want to Tony Visconti, I want this sound. And what do you want? He goes, I want it to sound like the song My Girl by Madness. Played the song to them, and the drummer, Dennis Davis, I want that sound. Basically, it's almost the same drum beat.
So did they just get Woody in? Basically?
Well, Woody, apparently Woody lives off the story now. He absolutely adores the fact that Bowie took his drum beat and had such a monster hit with it, and a great song, of course. But My Girl's excellent. It's again dead short, tells a little story. Everybody can relate to it. It's fun, beautiful, and I think what people forget about Madness as well is in terms of singles, they do write sometimes joyous songs, but there's also often a little touch of melancholy sometimes thrown into the lyrics as well.
My Girl's Mad at Me, it's like, we've all been there, haven't we?
Just fab, great song. Just a great
song.
My
Girl's Mad at Me, what for this time?
So that's number 6 for myself. How about yourself? Then what's number 5?
I'm bouncing around here because I just say, it's kind of like it's like the World Cup draw, isn't it? There's so many balls, and you're just picking one out, and it's just like it's just another classic. I'm going for NW5.
Yes.
Do you know what it is? It's a song where I'm sure it was. Who used to do the Friday night show? Chris Evans. Right. And he was on they played live on some radio show that he was hosting, something like that. And they played that song, and they went, you're not going to play the new single because you just played one of your old ones there. And I went, no, this is our new single. Because it sounds so much like a classic old one. Just like, oh God, you just
Langer and Winstanley, and the production's got that classic tone, hasn't it?
Yeah, if ever you were to say like, can we recreate something from the old days that they did, and they did it brilliantly. So that's why that's in there. It just sounds like, you know, if you put that into the set, it fits in brilliantly.
Yeah,
brilliantly.
yeah, yeah. I'm not going to dispute that at all. For me, number 5, like you said before, Sun. I've got Sun in the Rain. In terms of when I was talking about the strings before, I got it mixed up.
Yeah.
And it's the Sun in the Rain. It goes down really well live, and they play the video clips of Singing in the Rain, don't they? I love the sort of the psychedelic little string section in it. It's just very catchy, really bounces along. It's one of those songs where you watch people like when they watch it live, people almost go, "Oh, I forgot this song."
That is great. It's really good that you say that, because again, as we tend to watch, when I say we, as I say, there's the lad I go to all the gigs with for Madness. So now we sit down and we kind of try and take in the atmosphere than be too concentrating on the band. And you can see like people are dancing, and then they'll turn around and go, "Oh yes, this one as well." You know, it's like, and another one, and this is just another one. You know, that 25 songs. It's like, they know absolutely every single, and they say they just forgot it because there's so much. You know, if you had £1 and you had to play, you know, 10 Madness songs out of the whole collection, where would you start? Did you see it? And Sun in the Rain might not get in there, but it's still a classic.
I mean, there are so many that I've not named, and I'm just thinking, wow, that's not got in. Wow, how does that not get in? Just crazy. All right, we're down to the top 4 now. Then, Kirk, what have you got for number 4?
I put in Our House. Brilliant. It's just, you know, when I heard that again, it was just exactly everything about it's perfect. It's a great song, and again, it tells the story of, you know, mother wears a sun vest and kids are fleeing up downstairs. It's just a little story about the commotion. And I used to always like the fact that at the time when I lived with my mom and dad, obviously I was just, you know, still living at home, and my house was in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
So that's how I used to identify. They were actually singing to me on that song. So
yeah, I think
great video.
Great video. We can all link to that. And what I will say as well, what really annoys me sometimes about when people talk about Madness, they forget how good they are musically. As musicians, they are top players. I mean, Bellas is an incredible bass player. The whole band are superb musicians, and that gets overlooked because they think, oh, they're all the nutty boys and this, that, and the other, but they're actually technically tremendous. And what I'll say, I think the middle 8 on Our House is probably my favorite middle 8, along with what was I going to say again? Beat Surrender by The Jam. I think that's the other one that springs to mind as having an incredible middle 8. Dead catchy, really. It's just got something about it. It's just incredible. Really real, really genius crafted song. You know, it's just, everybody knows it. Even if you're not a Madness fan, everybody knows Our House. You know, it's just one of them songs, as exemplified by the fact it was on the Buckingham Palace thing and all the rest of it, you know.
It's, as you say, a big hit in America.
Yeah.
And that's what they had a compilation, American compilation. And that was kind of like the lead, you know, just getting the American fans, you know, kind of in there, you know. So,
well, they had the musical as well, of course, didn't they? And it was really successful in Britain, and it won an award, and then they stopped it. And I just didn't understand why, because I went to see it. And it was a fabulous show, really well put together. It wasn't just everything's cobbled in and let's shoehorn a song in. It was a really good story and worked really well. I don't understand. Right, my number 4, okay, this will surprise a few people, is Mr. Apples. It's great. Off the last album, it's so catchy, it's unbelievable. It's the classic Madness sleaze type song about a sleazy old man, like they do, you know, like they've done from album 1 right through their career. They've always had this little daft tune somewhere and they'll throw it in. And this is one of them. It's so catchy. I couldn't stop singing it after the last gig when I saw them. It was so well done live. It's funny. The video is great, actually, but it's just a really catchy song with a story. Bring back the birch slide, and then so goes, of course he do. You know, it's great. Of course he does. It's great. It just works really, really well. Fabulous song. I think many of the latter songs are as equally as good as if anything that they've done early in the career. They're one of those bands that I love because when they do live gigs, it's not, hello everybody, let's do a 1980s gig like you see with certain bands. They do have that section, but they also have, right, here's the new ones, and these are good. They're not just some average crappy song that we're going to do or just throw in and everyone's going to run to the bar. They're actually really good tunes. You know, so long may it continue as far as I'm concerned. And Mr. Apples, magnificent.
You can't, like, now, I think Madness have got this lovely formula. Obviously, we can talk about the Madness briefly, and it would be the briefest of brief, where they'd run out of ideas, that, you know, the train had come to the end of the station and it was just like there was no way forward, you know. And now they've kind of totally rediscovered themselves, and they all feel, I think, really confident about writing really good songs, because there's nobody can challenge them. They're not up against anybody. They're not up against, you know, like they were in earlier days, you know. They're not too bothered. They know they're never probably going to have a number one, so it doesn't matter. So they're writing really, really good songs. So yeah, it's great to hear.
We'll find out soon when we reveal our favorite albums. So
yes.
Right, Kirk, what have you got down at? Are we up to number 3 now?
Is it 3? Oh God,
top 3.
I might have to change my list then. I've got Cardiac Arrest.
Have you really? Okay.
It never gets played.
Aye.
It never gets played, and you know, it's just, I think it's forgotten. At the time, it was meant to be like an insensitive song, and what, again, it was Madness singing about, you know, something that they'd seen, and now it's very important. I mean, if Cardiac Arrest, you've got all these defibrillators everywhere, so everybody's got to be super aware. So now you can talk about it. And Madness were just saying that they'd seen an incident on the way to work, and they were just singing about it, and it didn't get airplay. It got pushed to one side, and I think that was very sad. I think it should be given a lot more credit.
Yeah, you're right. It's one of them songs that people just don't think. Grey Day is another one, and Shut Up sometimes is, although Shut Up goes down really well live. Yeah. Oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. That's really thrown us. Yeah, that's good to hear.
I'll teach you.
Well, it does. My number 3, as you said before, is Our House. I think we've said everything I want to see on Our House. It's just an absolute top tune. Right, Kirk. So Our House at number 3. What have you got for number 2?
Really, I'm gonna have to take one. I've got 3 left, and only 2 to choose. I'm going to put Embarrassment. I didn't realize how much I liked this song until when they play it live, and it's always quite early on, probably the 2nd or 3rd song. I wish they'd changed our set list around a bit more, but it just sounds so good. It absolutely kicks along again. You know exactly what the story's about at the time. You know, the coloured girl coming into Dee Thompson's family, and you know, the stigma that was around it and everything. Now it's just
so being I like mixed rich style like myself, you know, and it's so Tomo wrote a beautiful song which is so beautiful, it's unbelievable. And he wrote it with regards to his sister, of course, and of course we have a happy ending later on in life. There's a big documentary and everything with regards to the whole thing, and of course, as soon as she was born, Grandma absolutely adored the child and loved her, and you know, of course, he would. And so it has a real happy outcome. But it's a song that encapsulates the time as well. Having lived through that period as well, I can sort of relate to it in many respects, you know. So it's worked out beautifully. Embarrassment. Go on, because I'm, you know, I might talk about it myself.
It is. I think the lyrics are spot on. And again, musically, it's just it still sounds wonderful to hear it today. It doesn't sound dated at all. I think at times one step beyond the sound. It's like, oh God, just get it out the way, you know. Just lads, just get it out the way. But Embarrassment, what a track. Start to finish perfect. Again, an absolute gem. The perfect 45.
Yeah, right. That's good. Well, I might well come to it in a sec. Right, number 2 for me, slightly different one, is That Close, which I absolutely love. It's just beautiful. I love the piano and the sort of riposte with the saxophone against it. It's a great little tune. It tells a little tale as well in some respects, you know, about us, you know, being close to somebody and the relationship they have. And again, there's that little air of sort of wistfulness with regards to it. Beautiful, beautiful song. And again, from the latter period. I love it. They still do it live, which is great to see. They will throw it in on the set lists. So it's not one of them that they did once and they've never done it again. They do throw it in because I think they appreciate that they wrote a great song. And for me to have it that high, which telling you that I haven't got It Must Be Loving is weird, but it's because of cover. And so I'm a little bit reluctant to throw a cover song in. But it is fantastic, obviously. But for me, That Close it's outstanding. It's a really great song. It's a really, really great song from a top album. So That Close for me. Yeah. What have you got at number 1 then? The big reveal.
Big reveal. Can I tell you what the 2 are? can I have a double A side?
Go on.
Okay then, just for me, I'm going to have Night Boat to Cairo.
Yeah.
With the double A side of Love Struck. So
right, yeah, Love Struck, fabulous.
God, and again, Night Boat to Cairo. Purely, I just every time you see the video, you just got to laugh. The dancing is just ridiculous. It's a great tune. I like the way it builds and builds, and then it kind of almost tails, and then it just brings it back again. You know, so it's kind of like it is great. It gets everybody bouncing.
There's some great videos on YouTube of them doing it. I think there's one in Holland somewhere, and they're just miming and they're just dancing around the studio.
Yeah,
I think it was Top of the Pops where they did the conga around the
the conga. Yeah, we're just going to see
banned, didn't they, for doing the conga around the studio?
I wasn't meant to happen there. Sorry about that. Love Struck on the for the double A side. Again, a bit like NW5, it just fits in perfectly with the set. It is a great song. It kind of typically madness, bounces along, tells a tale of obviously being drunk as a skunk, trying to get home, and he's holding on to lampposts. I mean, who else could sing about a song like that? You know, that's it. You know, the Fratellis can try as hard as they like, but it's not going to happen.
No.
It's just a great madness song, and the way they put it together, and they make it funny. You know, it's like it's just a good humorous song, and it bounces on with a lovely chorus as well. So, right, well, and he says when he sings it live, obviously he gets the Betty, which obviously being English, ooh. So
yeah, you just
great one.
Right, for me then, for number 1, I've got Embarrassment. As you mentioned before, the whole story that the sister being pregnant with a black guy and it's going to be a mixed race, interracial sort of child coming in and all the rest of it. The story's fantastic and it's worked out great, obviously. As well as the story that we all know, Paul Weller apparently loved it so much that he wrote basically Town Called Malice based upon the song. So that was his into it as well. He just said he loved the rhythm so much that he ended up going to write Town Called Malice because of it. He said it was just such a great song. So we've got 2 great songs in some respects for the price of 1. And so, but yeah, Embarrassment for me. And it also reminds me of The Shop. I had Complete Madness, and when I had The Shop, it was one of them songs I used to play the album every day. And I think that was the first. Was that the first song on the album? And I used to put it on, and it used to just come out and be belting around the walls. I used to have a whole wall full of 2-tone singles. I used to have the proper sleeves and all the wall was just covered in 2-tone. And what a song! What an absolute song! It's one of them songs I play in the house. My kids will go, "Oh, Dad, tune." You know,
it's okay, isn't it? Yeah. Again, I think we can go back to. You know, Madness were easily tagged as being a bit foolhardy and stupid, and they weren't going to last, you know, and they're just a kids' band. But now when you play it, I think you listen to it that bit more, and it still sounds great today. And, you know, I think we're going to talk about people that maybe weren't on board now. The love Madness, you know, you'll talk to somebody. And when you go to see Madness as well, what I really like, and we always seem to notice this, is it's a family affair. You do get, we used to get mom and dad, definitely. Now you get mom, dad, kids, and probably their kids.
Yeah.
And
so
everybody knows how to Madness dance. The whole
and
family.
they're also a band who look like their audience, you know, which is great, which is all you can ask for. So, folks, if you can make some comments and let us know what your top 10 Madness songs are, that would be great to hear from you. If you can like and subscribe, it will help in terms of getting more people on board to watch the show. So until the next time, hopefully if you can click on and watch the album version of this as well, we shall see you soon. Until then, take care, folks. See you later. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.